tunakaribisha wageni wote. Karibuni, karibuni sana. I think it's going to be interesting because I've never had a female chauffeur before. So things should be interesting. I trust your driving, so I have my seatbelt on and let's go. Let's do this.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay.
Tell us your name, where you're from, how old you are. Give us a little background.
Yeah.
Of course, we're here in Kenya, so I know a lot of people are going to be like, wait a minute now. He doesn't look Kenyan. So what is his background? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, fine. So thank you for the opportunity first, Kia. So as you've correctly introduced me, that I'm Dr. Iqbal, that's my full name. And basically, I'm a born and raised Kenyan. This is probably the 4th generation. So I'm a Kenyan, proud African as well. And I'm a medical doctor. I'm a practicing doctor. I am the Chief Medical Director or Chief Medical Officer of Halcyon Group of Hospitals, also a bariatrician. So not to be confused with pediatrician, because I get a lot of that from my patients.
Okay.
So bariatrician is different from pediatrician. Bariatrician is medical weight loss. So that's my forte, basically. And further than that, of course, I'm an entrepreneur. So I have my passions, like I love cars, So I'm one of the founding members of a group called Motorsports Kenya.
Oh, really?
I know Gas knows about it, but basically it's a community of young people, young car enthusiasts who actually
I love cars. I want to be a part.
Definitely.
I think my car is nice.
Your car is lovely. I love the trim here.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Those are some of my passions. So that's just about me. But more so, I'm passionate about preventative health.
Yes,
prevention
you are.
of diseases, and just changing the whole health industry and how we perceive health and chronic illnesses.
Okay. So we got a little background. He's a proud African. Y'all heard that.
All the way.
All the way. 4th generation Kenyan. Do you speak Swahili?
Kabisa.
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 Tell us a little bit. Say something in Swahili so they'll know. Real Kenyan.
Tunakaribisha wageni wote. Karibuni, karibuni sana.
I know a lot of people are going to find that quite interesting because they don't know the history of the Asian community here in Kenya. And so we wanted to kind of diversify with our podcast and have some really good, different entrepreneurs on the podcast. So let's get back to entrepreneurship. What inspired you to specialize in medical weight loss procedures?
My mom, she was a diabetic, she had hypertension, all these chronic illnesses. So back when I was in med school, I got to thinking what are the causes of these things? Why are people getting, and so many people are getting diabetes, hypertension, joint issues, and it's becoming like a chronic thing, So I got to thinking back then in medical school, what can we do to prevent these diseases, And that made me realize that the actual issue is the lifestyle. We have such poor lifestyle, bad eating habits, we are not active, So that is what inspired me and led me to now tackling the actual disease, which is obesity. Because most people don't know that, but obesity is actually a disease in itself, and it is an epidemic.
Yeah, it is.
So that's
even here in Kenya?
Definitely. So you realize a lot of people have this obesity, and there was no actual treatment no one was tackling obesity. So you get diabetes, they treat you. You get hypertension, they treat you, but no one's tackling the cause, the root cause. So that was, yes, my inspiration. Very close to my heart, my mother.
Yes.
She's the one who inspired me to definitely go into this field of bariatrics and medical weight loss, which is, of course, the bariatrics.
Field. You got out of medical school, you're trained, you're back home. What made you say, I'm just going to go ahead and open up my own practice?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, you see, the thing is that gap, the niche I was talking about, was there. Now, no one in our country, or there were very few people back 5 years, 6 years back, not a lot of people were in the medical weight loss business.
Okay.
So I thought that, look, this is a good gap that I need to come in and fill. So that's how I started, and that's why I decided to open my own. The other thing is what inspired me is because you see a lot of in this country and probably even abroad, you know, when young doctors or young professionals are, you know, they have an idea or they're innovative or they have a passion about something, most of the time we get a lot of you know, kind of negative feedback. You're told, no, you're too young, you don't have experience, all those things. So I was like, okay, no, I don't want to be that. I want to prove them wrong because I have the passion, I have the skill, so why not? Yeah? So initially when we started, of course, I mean, it wasn't that good because people didn't even know what bariatrics is. Even up till today, people don't know the field. They don't recognize it.
Okay.
So there was a whole systematic build-up. I had to actually go train for the bariatrics, then come educate people on what the bariatrics is, what is the, you know, why is it recognized? And then now further build trust with the patients. And eventually got clients. So yeah, basically that is why I went into this field.
Wow, that is so courageous of you, because my follow-up question was going to be what are some of the challenges that you faced in the beginning? You're 31.
Yes, I'm 31.
You've been doing this since how long?
Probably 23, thereabouts.
23 years old.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And culturally, I know from any culture, like you said, most, you know, of our elders would be like, oh, you're too young, you can't do this or whatever. But like specifically, what were some of the challenges that you faced in the beginning?
So one of them is, of course, the perception of bariatrics. Like what I started was bariatrics or weight loss management. So one of the challenges I faced personally is that people were just saying, okay, why are you medically treating weight loss? You know, just do the right diet, go to gym. This is a shortcut, this is a quick fix.
That makes sense.
So there was a lot of misconception around the whole business idea. So that was one challenge. The other challenge, of course, being now a young doctor. So I remember when initially, you know, Kia had come to our facility. You had come to our facility 3 years back, I think 4 years back. And at that time, you came in as a patient.
I did.
And I remember that, you know, when you walked in and you're like, oh, the doctor, you look so young, you know, and he's practicing all this. So I get a lot of that from my patients. So they walk into my office and they say, oh, he's so young, you know, he doesn't have the experience. But on the contrary, you see, we as young doctors, we're up to date with our information.
You're right.
We have the time to personalize the treatments for our patients.
What are some of the benefits one can have, you know, opting to use your services for the weight loss? Management, really.
Yes. So when you look at weight loss, it impacts every element, every health aspect in your body. So we're talking about psychological health. So when we look at the psychological benefits of weight loss, I've had literal patients who walk into my office, they're very sad and gloomy, you know, because of the weight, they've been struggling, body shaming is there. But like with some weight loss, even like 10 kilos or 5 kilos, which is about 20 pounds, you can literally see the change on their faces. They're so much happier, so much energetic, their moods have improved. So there's so much improvement in terms of the psychological aspect. Then when you look at the physical health, patients who have diabetes, patients who have hypertension, patients who had back issues. I think you're one of them. You had a knee issue.
Yes.
So it's improving, you know, with the
it is. Loss.
Then the other benefit, of course, is things like the work-life balance. So you will see people are more social. You know, you become more confident.
Yes.
You've lost weight. You're looking good, feeling good. You're getting a compliment here and there. So the benefits are so many. Towards weight loss, we can go on and on about them, but there are quite a number. And even in terms of work, people perform better at work. Recently, I heard about the NSH in the UK. They're actually recommending weight loss because people are becoming very sluggish. You know, they're not walking and such things. So weight loss is very, very key.
You mentioned that I said that I had knee issues, which my knees were starting to hurt. Now, what I did, Doc, what I didn't tell you I went to see a specialist for my knees, and he looked at in fact, I have my x-rays in the back. He looked at my knees, and I said, something's wrong with them, right? He was like, no, it's the weight. Just keep getting the weight off.
Oh my God.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with your knees. I was like, okay. So yeah, I'm starting to see the relief in my knees because of the weight loss. By the way, I've lost 9 now because it's 20 pounds. So about 9 kilos in 6 weeks. So
I see. Yeah. So definitely weight impacts all the aspects of health. So we're talking about not just orthopedic issues. We're talking about heart issues. We're talking about liver issues. We're talking about fertility issues. You realize many ladies who are trying to conceive, maybe they're in the obese category, they struggle a lot conceiving. It's because of the excess weight. So
can you go more into that? I know that we were talking about IVF.
Yes.
And one of the things that I was so impressed by when I was discussing with you trying to put together a package for our medical tourism partnership, one of the things that I really really loved about your response is that you did not want to compromise the procedure itself because it's time sensitive.
Exactly.
Right? But then the other thing that you brought up is weight. The weight issue.
Yes.
So can we dive deep a little bit in that?
So when you look at both weight loss and IVF or fertility treatments, they're time sensitive in the sense that you cannot rush such treatments. There is a level of, the ovums need to be incubated. The patient has to have the right diet to produce the specific cells that you need. So if you rush that process, then that's why you'll realize so many people, they do IVF, they're doing 1, 2, 3 tries, and they have that success rates are slightly low. Is because it actually needs time.
It needs time.
Same for the weight loss. So you don't. Most of my patients when they come to me, they want instant
results.
They're like, no, doc, I want to lose 10 pounds. I have a wedding coming up, and I'm like, no, we cannot do that. Yeah, you lose slowly and sustainably, and that's part of the reason why you're on the adjustable balloon, because the procedure you have done is like a year-long balloon. So you lose slowly, gradually, sustainable weight loss.
Yes.
So that is why we usually don't rush patients. We prepare them mentally, physically, then eventually we go into the procedures.
Great. How does the gastro sleeve bypass compare to other weight loss procedure, work compared to them both?
Okay. So that's a very good common question I get from my patients. So many of the patients, they know of the gastric sleeve, gastric bypass, but this is just one or two of the procedures. So when you look at bariatric, so when you look at the weight loss procedures, we usually divide them into surgical and non-surgical. Surgical means it's an operation, usually has more results, better results, but of course it's an operation, so it has its risk, bleeding, infection, all these things can happen. So in the surgical, let's say, branch of weight loss, that is where now gastric bypass, gastric sleeve, all these surgical bariatric procedures fall. So yes, they're good, but they also have its own risks related with it. Then when you come to the other options for weight loss, which are the non-surgical options, that's where people go hazy. They hear of pills, they hear of balloon, they hear of all these things. So all of them, they're under the non-surgical option. So a patient who does not qualify for surgery, maybe a very sick patient, then they can undergo the non-surgical options. A patient who does not want to go for surgery, because there is the risk to surgery.
Right.
And a patient, like a patient from abroad, they might not want to risk doing a surgery, and there's that recovery and all that. So the non-surgical options are there, and they're suitable as well. So at the end of the day, what I would say is each patient is very unique. Every patient's journey, every patient's solution is different. There is no one fit for all.
Okay. What are some of the common issues that you see when it comes to weight loss, in terms of people having issues with losing weight and maintaining the weight loss?
I see. So, a lot of people want a quick fix, they want a shortcut, but the reality is there's no shortcut. Whatever we offer as the doctors, it's a tool. It's a tool that helps you develop those lifestyle changes.
Let's talk about medical tourism.
Yes.
That's something that we see are coming up, especially with our partnership and Traverze Culture promoting medical tourism inbound to Kenya, which a lot of people, when I speak to them, mainly Kenyans, or anyone really, when I say that we are promoting medical tourism or medical travel inbound to Kenya, they face lights up. Like, what?
What? Yeah.
To where?
Yes.
like to Kenya.
Yes.
And since I've been able to participate in the medical tourism, getting the adjustable balloon, knowing that it actually worked, I feel great. It took me a few weeks for it to adjust with my stomach and my energy. But I was just telling somebody, I'm back with my energy. I know I can start working out. My appetite is coming, so I know that it works.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about where do you see the medical tourism industry going, especially with what you're doing?
First of all, there's only one way we go up. So we're always climbing up, getting to get greater heights. So in terms of medical tourism, I see it developing more and more, and people traveling to our country for medical reasons. And why I say this is because in our country, yes, there are a lot of chronic issues, a lot of chronic illnesses, and patients, like what I would say in terms of the medical tourism industry is that we welcome everyone, anyone and anyone. So patients from within Africa, within East Africa, patients from the US, patients from the Europe. You'll be surprised, I have patients, today I had a patient who flew in from Sweden just for weight loss treatment. I have another patient who flew in from Australia for the same kind of treatment. So what we try to say, say in terms of the medical tourism is that anyone and everyone is welcome to our country. We have good standards of care.
Yeah.
We are some of the pioneers bringing the new technologies to the country. And what I would say is there's nothing that you can do out there that you may not be able to do here.
That's true.
So that is the basic statement, that anything and everything that you can do out there, you can do here. And further saying that, look, despite the cost, a lot of people come for medical tourism because of the cost factor.
I was about to get into that.
Exactly. So our country, the costs are quite subsidized, because you'll realize most of the things we get are subsidized. So cost is more affordable in this country. You find there are no long lines of patients. You don't need to pre-book 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance. You come in, you want to see a specific doctor, you see them, you get the treatment, you're on your way.
Let's talk about prices. I'm glad that you said that. In comparison to a Sweden, to Germany, to the US, Canada, any other African country, as you may know, Kenya has the second best healthcare in all of Africa.
Definitely.
Behind South Africa. Let's talk about the prices. The adjustable gastro balloon, I know for sure in the States starts at $7 to $10,000.
Yes.
How much can they get it through our partnership?
Exactly. So we're talking about between 3,000 to maybe 4,000. So that now includes everything. It includes not just the balloon, it includes the psychotherapist, the nutritionist. It's a complete 6 months program. So that is what we're offering. So yes, the prices are affordable, but at the same time, you're not lacking anything. If anything, you're getting more support, more specialists on board, because we have the capacity to do such things.
How about a gastro sleeve?
Well, a gastric sleeve may start from about 5,000 thereabout. Yeah, but again, all the costs are usually, we curate the packages based on the medical history, based on what conditions they have, the number of nights they'll stay. There are so many factors that we consider, but generally they're more affordable than the prices you'll see in the States or maybe in the Europe or something like that.
Absolutely. I know even through us working with you all, when we do have the patients come through for weight loss procedures, it's not just coming to get your procedure, but it's also you being able to visit the country or heal while you're here and go to Masai Mara or the national park, or doing a culture immersion experience like our naming ceremony, and stay in a 5-star hotel while you're healing. So it's more than just coming to get a procedure. It's a total experience and comprehensive.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now we're here at the office. Halcyon.
We're back after the good ride.
Yes. Let me ask you this, Doc. How did you all come up with Halcyon, the name?
Halcyon. Oh, so it actually means a state of happiness, a state of serenity. That's what it means. But of course, at its inception, I wasn't there. That's what the meaning is. So yeah, we want our patients to be happy, to be lively, That's basically what it means.
Is it what language?
It's English. It's
Oh,
English.
I've never heard of that.
You can look it
word.
up on the dictionary, Halcyon, and you'll find, I think, a place of serenity,
Okay.
health, all that.
All right. So you're gonna take us inside
Sure.
and show us around the business
Sure,
and
sure.
how it operates and maybe some of your team members.
Yes, definitely. Most welcome.
All
Karibu
right.
sana.
Asante
Kenya.
sana.
Hi guys. So this is Kia, one of our partners. So Irene, our front desk manager. Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
And
Irene.
Hanifa. As you can see, she's very busy taking multiple phone calls.
Yes. They always take great care of me when I come in here, by the way.
So we can come right this way.
Yes.
So we'll start from this area here.
Okay.
So of course, these are some of our consultation rooms. So this is like our general private setting. So it has the own private washroom area, and then the patients are comfortable. As you can see, the view is lovely.
Yeah.
So as you're recovering, you're really chilled, you're relaxed, and you recover fully, admiring the streets of Nairobi from here. So you can see KICC from here.
Yeah, it actually is very beautiful.
So yeah, this is the kind of thing you get here in Africa. As you can see, there's skyscrapers, huge skyscrapers. At the contrast, you can see the green and all that. So
Y'all saw he shout out Africa.
shout out Africa.
He loves
Kenya, Nairobi.
He's Kenyan, a proud Kenyan.
Born, raised, third generation, maybe fourth.
Maybe fourth, right?
Maybe fourth.
Yes, love that.
So this is the first consultation room. So this is where most of our specialists sit. This is the second one. So basically, again,
Spacious.
exactly. So these are the kind of spaces we have for patients. So when you come, you feel relaxed, you're calm. There are no small hospital setting. You don't have that so much cramped up hospital feeling. And then again, you admire the view, you get relaxed. So this is the room where we do things like physiotherapy, like orthopedic treatments and such. Like we have that wheel here, whereby yeah, so patients
What
like
is
this
that?
is a shoulder wheel actually.
Okay.
So patients who need to exercise their shoulders, maybe they have arm issues. This is the one we use.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this is for this room. Of course, we have an endoscopy. Sometimes we do some of the endoscopies from here. So we have 2 towers, endoscopy 1 and endoscopy 2. So in case if we need to do, we have 2-3 patients, then we have backup instruments.
Okay.
Always.
Did you guys strategically find this office space because of the view?
Yes,
For
in
a
a
hospital?
way. Yes, in a way, because you see what happens is a lot of patients are, they're frustrated from the hospital setting. There are no views or anything. So yeah, and we're on the 7th floor. So we are quite above the city level. Yeah,
It's a different way to approach the kind of hospital clinic vibe.
Exactly.
I guess that it's like the name of the hospital itself, Halcyon.
Place of serenity, place of peace, and yeah, we just let our patients recover very nicely, easily.
I was comfortable for sure.
So this is our nutritionist George, very famous, very vocal, and then we have our psychotherapist who is Faith.
So I wanted to ask really quick, Doc, why is it important to have such a full staff of someone who is specialized in the mental health area and then the nutritionist? Why have that all as one package?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll allow them to say something small before I give the overall overview.
So we understand that it's not only food that is associated when it comes to weight gain and weight loss. There's other aspects that are associated with it. So it's not just how much you're eating, there's also the why. So just creating that healthier relationship with food is quite helpful when it comes to especially sustainability. We're not only trying to lose weight, we're also trying to be healthier and to sustain that weight loss. So understanding the psychology behind it, the why, the when, the what, and the how you eat, as well as how you cope with stress, if you eat for comfort, if you eat because out of boredom, if you eat because of habits. So we want to change those and understand ourselves better. We also want to give ourselves grace. Going into this, we want to be quite gentle because, we are able to go far without beating ourselves down. So just putting all of that aspect together, we find that we have a more sustainable, weight loss program, but also health.
So it's that about that holistic approach. That holistic approach is really, really important. So we have elements of nutrition, elements of the physical fitness, we have the psychological, and of course there's the medical preparation as well. So all that combined adds to the care of these patients. So we can walk this way. Here is our lab.
So you guys have an in-house
Yes,
lab.
definitely. So it's not, as you can see, unauthorized personnel only, but basically we have
to
a fully
keep it
fledged
sterile.
lab. Definitely. So we keep all our samples, all our testing we do in-house and make sure that each and every patient is tested. So before we do our procedures, we do the thorough testing, the analysis, everything is done under one roof.
So as a business owner and going into the health care field, is it hard to add a lab to a facility like that if someone is interested in open up a facility like this here?
Yeah, well, it depends on the level of the facility. There are different levels in this country. So there's level 1, 2, and 3. So we are currently at level 4. So we can open everything at once, or we can open at a lower level, then increase the lab and the pharmacy and such things. So it depends on how you want to start it, and of course the capital involved.
You saying the what? The
Capital, yeah.
The capital.
The finance.
All right. Do you have to be certified? So, because we're gonna have a lot of people watching this from the diaspora and are interested in doing what you have done as a business owner. Is that hard to do that?
Well, it depends, because you see, we have our boards. We have the medical board, we have the lab board, we have the pharmacy and poisons board. So it depends on what the requirements are for those particular boards. Of course, there is an allowance for foreign investors. Actually, our country welcomes foreign investors.
Right.
So there is definitely that huge opportunity where people can set up sole labs, sole hospitals, sole pharmacies based on what the board's requirements are. But it's fairly easy.
It is. Okay. All right.
So this side is our phlebotomy. So whenever anyone, actually our, triage. So this is our triage area. So basically patients are tested in case of emergencies. This is where we screen for them before now we start treating them.
Yes.
So things like pressure, diabetes, someone in maybe like a cardiac arrest, this is where we analyze them first before we rush them to the individual departments. So here we have the phlebotomy room. So this is where we take the lab samples, and basically the lab investigation starts from here. So they don't enter the lab. That's why the lab is fully sterile. All the sample collection is actually done in this space here.
How long did it take you all as a business to build a team of this magnitude?
Well, let me put it 7-8 years now.
Really?
Since inception.
Wow.
So of course the infrastructure was there, but by the time now we got the right people and the right know-how to run such a thing, it does take some time.
It takes time.
So the last 5 years more productive. The first 2 years were more of learning. And remember, in 2019 we had COVID. So that was not a very good year for business and for us. But that's
it's life.
We push on.
Yes.
So this is of course our reception area here.
Yes.
So we have our ward.
Recovery ward.
So this is our recovery ward. So we usually have, as you can see, there's a patient here. But usually this is our recovery area. So for us, we are a smaller center in the sense that we are not a fully fledged hospital with like 100 beds. We are more specialized center. So usually this is the number of patients, and we prioritize one patient at a time. So that is theater. Then from theater, the patients are wheeled in here. They usually recover here. Then they're transferred to the wards and such.
Let me ask you this question. So as an owner and the doctor, how does that work for you? Has it been challenging?
Well, it comes with its challenges. You'll realize that a lot of people want, every patient's needs are specific, they're individualized. So some patients want theater services, other patients want lab services, there's general consultation. So there is a lot going on, and you need to coordinate all these things.
But how do you do that as an entrepreneur? How does that work?
It comes with time. You have to learn the challenges. Everything is an opportunity. That's what I believe. So as we keep on learning, we keep on improving, and we want the best care for our patients. So ours is always a patient-centered service rather than pushing certain services. No, we look at what the patient actually needs, and we provide that to the best of our ability.
I think you do a good job, because I know being an owner and operator can be a bit challenging.
It is, because I see patients. I have to see patients. I have to run the business.
Right.
So there's a lot of
yeah.